All right, we did 16,610. The gate was 2.5 million. Bonuses fight of the night for the Ortega fight was fight of the night. And Volkan and Jones did the performance of the night. They all won $50,000. Tonight was a big night. Tonight is trending over 1 million buys. So it's a big night. It was a great card. It's one of the best cards we've ever done on paper and in person.
He's having a hard time reaching Jon. Oh, Jon Jones back in. He hurt. You see, was stunned by that head kick. Jones trying to press the issue here. Cormier is down. Not out yet. Cormier's in big trouble. And Jon is all over him. Here comes Johnny Bones with the ground and pound. Cormier. That could be it. Trying to survive. That's it. He's out. He's out.
By knockout. And now. And again, the new.
It's over, Jon.
It's over.
You came back.
It is over. Yeah, you know what, Joe? I want to take this time to thank Daniel Cormier for being my biggest rival and motivator. Daniel Cormier, guys, he has absolutely no reason to hang his head. He has been a model champion, a model husband, a model father, a teammate, leader, and I aspire to be a lot more like that man because he's an amazing human being. Unfortunately, we are opponents, but outside of that, he is a true champion for the rest of his life.
But good.
Brock Lesnar. If you want to know what it feels like to get your ass kicked by a guy who weighs 40 pounds less than you, meet me in the octagon.
Give us your thoughts right now.
I don't know, man. I thought the fight was going well. I don't even know what happened. It's like I got kicked in the head. Oh, man, that's so disappointed.
You know, I don't think it's a good idea to interview fighters after they've been knocked out, but I really wanted to give you a chance to express yourself. I know this was an incredible moment for you. It was very emotional. What can you say at all about this and the rivalry between you and Jon?
I don't know, man. I guess if you win both fights, there is no rivalry, so I don't know.
What's next? I mean, if you go to heavyweight, you're going to stay there or you're going to focus on the light heavyweight division? I mean, you've pretty much ruled the light heavyweight division for a long time already.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of fresh blood in the light heavyweight division. We got this Russian guy that fought tonight. You know, there's fresh blood coming up, and I'd love to rule the light heavyweight division for a while longer. But super fights and things like that, I think now is the time for that. I feel like I don't really have much to prove in this division anymore. Well, people could argue that, but I feel like now is the time to branch out and experiment with some real big fights. Get paid. I haven't fought, man. I've been inactive, so I need a check. Let's get some big fights. I feel like if I was to take a fight at heavyweight, it would be against a person who I felt, me and my coaching staff felt like it was just a perfect matchup for me. Right now, Stipe is looking extremely impressive, and I believe when you get an extremely talented big guy versus an extremely talented little guy, I mean, a lot of the cards are in his favor. At the same time, I fear no man, but I strike for a reason when I strike, and I feel like Stipe is relatively unknown to the general public, so it wouldn't even be a real super fight, in my opinion. I think the MMA fans would be really excited about it, but the general public wouldn't care about that fight. Most people don't really know who he is, with all due respect to him. So if I'm going to sacrifice being the smaller guy, I think stylistically, Brock would be a fight that makes way more sense, and the payday would be tremendous, and what it would do for our sport would be tremendous. It would have much greater impact. So for many reasons, a Brock Lesnar fight just makes more sense.
And afterwards, he had the surprise call out of Brock Lesnar in there with the mic drop moment. I guess, what did you think as that was unfolding, and is this something you would entertain?
I guess Lesnar just talked to the AP and said, be careful what you wish for, young man. Listen, Lesnar would take 6 months for him to even go through USADA to fight, so it's fun to talk about, but the reality of it happening anytime soon, it's not a reality.
You please explain to us exactly what happened after the main event when Daniel Cormier appeared to be really frustrated and you had to say something to him?
He was telling me that the fight was stopped prematurely, and he was freaking out on the referee. The reality is that Cormier was out of it and didn't really know what had happened. He didn't know he got knocked out till he saw it on the replay. And realistically, if you look at that fight, he was saying it was stopped prematurely. Could have been stopped 4 or 5 punches sooner than it was. I was just trying to get him to calm down and relax. And then he kept saying, why is Dana yelling at me?
DC clearly wasn't himself in the immediate aftermath of the fight, but it looked like he was kind of put in the position and told to do the interview with Rogan anyway. Could you just clarify that? Was that the case?
They told Rogan not to do an interview with him, and Rogan did it.
He did it anyway?
Yeah.
There's a right hand over the top by Tyron. There's a beautiful right hand that dropped Demian Maia. There's another one. And so many failed takedowns by Demian Maia. Over and over and over again, Tyron was able to stuff the takedowns.
For the winner, by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC welterweight.
The record was broken for the least amount of strikes thrown in any fight. Does all this stuff, does this bother you at all? Or do you just realize you did what you had to do to win?
It doesn't bother me at all, because if you're going in there against a jiu-jitsu specialist, how many guys has he went in there and taken down, got on their back and submitted them because they was overzealous and they were swinging crazy strikes? So this doesn't bother me at all. I went out there, I had a phenomenal fight. I can go another couple rounds right now if I had to. I'm just excited to fight a freestyle fighter, someone that I can use all my skills against instead of just defending what they're doing and trying to implement some strong striking.
Scenario was Woodley's win tonight. Certainly didn't necessarily entertain the crowd quite as much. What did you think watching that fight?
What did you think about watching the Woodley fight? Listen, when you break a record for the least punches ever thrown in a 5-round fight, in a title fight, and you beat it by, it was like 130, and these guys threw 60 or something like that. I mean, I think that sums it up. The guy had one eye in the first round, and you're faster, you're stronger, your hands are better, explosive, you know. I believe Woodley could have finished that in the first round. If not, he definitely could have finished in the second round. Listen, it's easy to say a win is a win. But when you get booed out of an arena, it means people don't want to watch you fight. And that's how you make a living. It's not good if people don't want to watch you fight. You ask fans if they want to see Woodley fight again. I think that would be a flat-out no. Who wants to pay to see Tyron Woodley fight again? I
guess we're seeing reports that you've been saying in some other interviews backstage that GSP, who you said was next in line for this winner, is no longer next in line. He's fighting Michael Bisping.
Yep.
Is that definitive?
Yep. There you go.
Do we have a date set for that?
Because I know Michael Bisping will fight. Michael Bisping will show up and he will fight.
Do we have a date set for that yet?
No.
Daniel, just wondering, with yesterday you saying that the Bisping GSP fight had sailed, and today obviously that being switched.
That ship turned around and fucking sailed back.
I was just wondering if you could clarify when exactly that decision was made to turn the ship
fucking
around.
round 5.
Do you have any sort of plans for Robert Whittaker at this point?
Robert Whittaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Robert Whittaker's knee is, you know, he took some damage to that knee, so he's going to be out for a little while.
But he still does he get the winner type of thing?
Yeah. So whoever wins that fight between GSP and Bisping, Whittaker will fight the winner.
Or is there anybody else that you're thinking of that maybe, you know, would be a good fight for Woodley?
Yeah, I mean, right now, off the top of my head, I would say Robbie Lawler.
Tyron, apparently Dana White was asked just a few minutes ago whether or not this performance was going to affect the potential GSP fight, to which he replied, absolutely, and he said it means good things for Bisping. If you could give your initial thoughts on that particular quote, and then also, if GSP isn't next, who do you have on your radar next?
Did you hear my reply at the press conference when he said I was fighting I was fighting GSP next if I won? I said these guys have already been talking about fighting. You know, it's a very it's like Dory the fish. Everybody have a very short-term memory. You know, when was the last time Michael Bisping fought? You know what I mean? Think about it. Like really, I fought 4 world title fights against the #1 contenders. Has he ever fought a #1 contender? I fought the #1 contender twice. I fought the #1 contender after that. And I fought the world champion, who was Robbie Lawler, time before that. I'm the only one that's going by the old set of rules. So if it's not Georges St. Pierre, let him run. But guess what? Whoever you put in front of me, I'm going to run through them. I'm going to beat them. And if he does not fight me, by default, I will be the best welterweight of all time.
especially for Cyborg.
What fight makes sense for your first defense?
You know, same with the 135 pounds, then start with Ronda and start a little bit, and now then make the division. I think the 145, they're gonna be the same. And I'm happy to be part of this. And you know, I can fight anybody UFC gonna put front of me. You know, I'm gonna keep training, keep you ready.
Dana, what is next for Cyborg?
I don't know. I was just talking to Holly Holm back there. What do you think, Holly? And it seems like she's interested. I like Holly versus Cyborg. I think it's a good fight.
Overhand, I should say, whatever you want to call it, from the clinch for Lawler. I mean, just brawling, and he floods Cerrone early in the first round. Cerrone comes back with a nasty elbow over the top, reading the left hand of Lawler in the clinch, and then a great takedown. Cerrone, another right elbow, peeking through. Oh, awesome knee time by Lawler. And here we see the liver kick and high kick. Here's a high kick with a liver kick.
Just curious, what your reaction was to the decision? Were you confident you had won?
Yeah, I mean, I won the first, won the third, pressed him, whatever. I mean, you leave it up to the judges. You never know what's going to happen. He fought hard. I thought I was going to finish him in the first. I was disappointed in my performance. Feel like I should have done more.
And lastly, you said you didn't want to talk about a possible title fight, but you won. You saw what happened with Woodley tonight. That's a guy that took the title from you. Do you feel like this win was enough to get you back in the mix for a title shot?
I'm not too worried about that. I need to work on myself, get better, and make sure I'm in better shape. And if I'm in better shape and can get in people's faces for 25 minutes, and I think I'm could be the best in the world.
Dude, demeanor for you. He is confident. He's got heart for days. Nice short shot there from Oezdemir. Huge punches.
Oezdemir hurt him. Volkan, Oezdemir. Do you see him as a guy who's ready for a title shot now, or when you look at that division, do you think an Alexander Gustafsson might be next?
He's looked damn good, damn good. I guess Alexander tweeted out, "Quit calling out retired fighters. I'm right here. I'm ready to go," or something. So I like to hear that. But yeah, he looked incredible. I mean, the guy's coming out, and I freaked out and jumped out. I didn't see that coming.
Lamas is hitting him so hard tonight. Willing to take him. Just stay on his feet.
Nothing but heart tonight. But
and this is why this matchup was made, because neither of these guys will quit. See if Lamas lets him back to his feet. Instead, greets him with the right hand.
Lamas, beautiful clean shot. That's it. That's it.
And then
and it's Moicano looking to take Ortega down, but look at this, right into a guillotine.
That's why he wants you to
Not
shoot.
good. That's it. That's it.
But I just thought that Ortega fight was ridiculous. I mean, those guys were standing toe-to-toe, blasting each other. Both guys had incredible chins. Both guys were lighting each other up, and then it ends the way that it did in that submission. I felt that was fight of the night.
Weight classes, new weight classes were recommended recently. You've been opposed to that in the past. Would you be open to that moving forward? Maybe some new divisions in the UFC?
Nope.